Welcome to Geoprocessing with QGIS. In the previous video, we looked at how and where to download free satellite data, mainly based on online platforms. In this one, I want to show you how you can achieve the same process right from within QGIS without having to open a web browser. So QGIS comes with very useful plugins for processing data, but also for bringing in data. And for downloading satellite data, there are a few plugins that are available that are very useful. So if you go to the plugins and you open manage and install plugins, you can search a number of them. And one that I want to show you today is called the semi-automatic classification plugin. And so you just search for it here and click on it and install it. I've already installed it on my QGIS, and so it appears here as SCP. That's the short form. So if you manage to finish installing, you will see that it will show up in your QGIS window as SCP. Now, there are a few other plugins, mainly for Sentinel data download. And so one of them is the Sentinel-2 download. So you can simply search Sentinel and you find it here. So this particular plugin is for downloading Sentinel-2 data. And another one is the Google Earth Engine data catalog. And both of these plugins actually run on the Google Earth Engine plugin. And so before you can be able to use any of these, you need to install the Google Earth Engine plugin. So basically, this plugin gives you access to Google Earth Engine platform through the Python API. And yeah, so you can either use that directly to process data right from the cloud, or use either of these plugins to bring in data to QGIS. In my experience, these two plugins, that's the Sentinel-2 download and the Google Earth Engine data catalog, compared to the semi-automatic classification, are not the best, for the simple reason that they are a little bit disorganized, the data that comes out of that. And I suppose they are mainly for visualization purposes, because what happens is that when you download the data, you either get a few bands, mostly 3 bands, either as a true color composite or any other false color composite that you might go for. So I think they were probably made for visualization purposes and not full-blown analysis. So you don't have access to all the bands to be able to query and analyze your data. For that reason, I will recommend using the semi-automatic classification plugin. That is what I want to show you today. So once you've installed the SCP plugin, it will appear right at the top here in the menu bar. And so if you click on it and you go to download products, a window should open, which is this window right here. And here there are a number of portals that are available from which or from where you can download data. And so if you want Landsat data, it's coming from the USGS portal, Sentinel from the Copernicus Open Access Hub, and MODIS and ASTA also from NASA. And what you need is to actually have accounts for any of these portals for which you need data. And so, like I said in the previous video, it's very easy to set up an account. All you need is an email address. And once you've done that, you just punch in your username and password here, and you're ready to go. So once you do that, you can go to the search window, and here you can specify all the search criteria that you want. For example, setting the area for which you need the data. And by the way, I had gone through a previous example. That's why you see this data displayed here. But for the purpose of demonstration, I'm doing that again. And the first one, it was for Landsat that I tried with, but I'm going to show you Sentinel instead. And so you want to specify the area by picking this plus button here. So if you hover your mouse over it, it tells you what exactly it does. So you can set an area from right within the QGIS canvas. So if you pick that, you can easily right click anywhere here, and then a rectangle is drawn for you. So this is the extent for which you need the data. And once you do that, the coordinates will be updated right here. Then you go ahead and select the product you want. In this case, I want to download Sentinel-2 data. And mind you, you should have your credentials entered in that particular portal. So I've got my username and password here for Sentinel, and I will specify the acquisition window. So for this example, I am interested in data from April 27th, 2020 to July 13th, 2021. And then you can also set the maximum cloud cover that you are willing to accept. In this case, I set it to 50. And so once you're done, you can click on this find button here, and it begins to search for the available data that meets that particular criteria. Yeah, here we are. So we've got some data set right here. And what is interesting here is that you can actually click on any of the data that are returned, and it shows you a preview of what it looks like. So there are Sentinel-2 level 2A and level 1C data sets here. You can choose any of them, and it shows you a preview of what the data looks like. So you can go through just to be sure that you are getting a less polluted data in terms of the cloud cover. So I'll try going through a few of them just to locate and select the best possible. So just to point out, and we will come to this later, the fact that cloud cover is a major issue in optical remote sensing, because you see that most of the data that we have are basically useless. But one thing that I want to point out also is the difference between the level 2A and the level 1C product. So for example, this is how level 2A looks like. It looks a bit hazy, level 1C rather, and then the levels 2A looks a bit more clear, simply because level 2A are processed to bottom of atmosphere reflectance, and level 1C is the top of atmosphere reflectance. So there is still some atmospheric effects or scattered light having an effect on the reflectances that are recorded. And we would dive a bit more deeper into these concepts in later videos. But for this one, we are just interested in finding the right data. I think I will settle for one of these two. Looks like it's the best that we can have with our present search criteria. But for instance, if you look at the Landsat scene that I had earlier, it looked pretty clear, which is good because you can search different sensors and be able to get some useful data sets. So once you settle on which ones you want to download, so for instance, if I choose to download this level 2A product, I only have to highlight them or remove all the others that I do not need, right? And so I'm going to delete all the ones below, I'm going to highlight them and use this button to delete them, and then highlight the others from above. I'm going to get rid of those ones as well. So this is what I'm interested in downloading. Well, I guess it's a mistake, but assuming this is the data set that you want, the next thing is to simply download it, right? So make sure that you uncheck this button right here. And I do not want to pre-process the data because it downloads, this process will download the data and attempt some level of pre-processing before storing it, which takes a long time. You can always download the data and pre-process it later on. So I uncheck this, but then I want to see the bands in QGIS, so I keep this checked. And once you've done that, you click on Run, and a pop-up window should appear, which tells you to specify the folder location where you want to save the data set. And so I just choose this folder. And once you do, the process begins. The data begins to download. So you can see within the QGIS console that the download progress is happening right now. So I'll pause here and get back to you when the download finishes. So once the download process is complete, you will hear a sound for confirmation. And yeah, data or the individual bands will be loaded into QGIS, as you can see here. So we've got our bands, image bands loaded right within QGIS. And so yeah, that's really all you need right now. Of course, in a proper data search and download, we would want to get a better data set than this one, because this is pretty much mostly covered in clouds and might not be useful unless, of course, the area that you're interested in is it's clear of cloud. So for instance, this corner right here could be your area of interest, and it wouldn't matter if there are clouds on the other side, right? So yeah, that's all you need to download data from within QGIS. Make sure to subscribe, because there is more by way of pre-processing, proper processing, and post-processing with QGIS. So thank you for watching. Stay safe, and I will see you in the next video.